Welcome to a new episode of the Signal Chain Stories, the podcast for musicians, artists, and creatives. We had a little bit of fun before starting. I hope you're doing all well. With me, as always, is my wonderful friend, Mordio.
Hello.
Hello. I hope you are well.
Yes, I'm good.
That's great. That's awesome. That's good to hear. And we have a big topic today, a really big one, and a very controversial one. We will be speaking about AI in music, and we will speak about the good, the bad, and the ugly. And yeah, it's quite a big topic. So I would say we just dive right in. And let's start with the positive. Let's start with the good, like AI as a creative tool. And there, I think you've already showed me this in the past. We've kind of like tried to record an episode and it unfortunately corrupted the file.
Yeah, OBS killed it.
Yeah, that was a pain, but not this time. This time we're running a little bit more stable,
Yes.
and you have a really crazy way how you use AI to program an Ableton session for you, right?
Yeah, I would say we start somewhere there.
Okay.
First of all, the anti-social media and I guess people could expect that we are now roasting AI and it's so bad and just ugly and la la la. And yeah, there are many parts about this. But
We'll cover that later, definitely.
But no, I'm actually very positive about AI. I think it's a really cool tool that gives you the possibilities for a lot of things. Like in the past when the internet came, it's just a possibility to learn everything was in this time. I remember, and I found the internet. I was like, wait, I can learn everything myself. Where I should like even go to school, Like I was like, let's go.
Fuck school, use the internet.
Yeah, in my case, for real, man. I don't have any school degree, and something happened to me, so I guess it's possible.
Yeah, it is. You're a pretty smart guy. I can confirm.
Yeah, so first of all, the AI topic is super insane in the moment, and I think a lot of people have a lot of opinions, and I'm always yeah, you can say this, both is right. In the end, it's so fresh, it's so new that even the people, they call themselves professional because they kind of develop the things and everything. It's still evolving, and it's still also, I think, in the end, what the society will take. So, for example, a lot of people now using ChatGPT like Google. Cool. And that's then also what OpenAI, for example, started to do. They trained the thing, making it really accessible for even grandma, so you can talk to it. It really sounds human and have M's and all that stuff. What like another another AI company would say, what a stupid, like, why you train that in, It doesn't matter. But for some people, it matters a lot to actually adopt this new technology. So I think, first of all, we have to think about there is not just ChatGPT, right?
Absolutely,
There's
yeah.
many different training data sets for AIs with different names, with different companies behind, and also with this, a lot of different values behind.
Yeah.
And I think that's the first topic we have to go in, yeah, right? So if you say, okay, AI, I want to check this out, yeah, then first of all, see who's behind that. Like some people use Grok and don't even know that it's like Elon Musk,
Yeah.
And you have to decide who you want to support. Gemini is Google. OpenAI is in the game, and they're sounding like kind of friendly, but they're also taking a lot of data just out of the internet without asking anyone and just train their models, right? Then there's Anthropic, for example, Claude AI. They, in the beginning, this is the only thing I know, they just trained the model on papers. So literally just proven stuff.
Okay.
So because they wanted to make a model that is less like tripping out, how they call it, like when it's hallucinating. Yeah. So this one was really stable in a way. If you ask for things, for facts, it was literally most of the time right, or would actually say, I don't know this. what is a good thing for an AI, because
Absolutely.
for example, ChatGPT is trained on like making the user happy. So whatever you ask, it will make you happy.
Yeah. It will just give you the data. And yeah, I
Yes.
mean, we both are using Claude. So I can confirm that I switched from ChatGPT to Claude because you recommended it. And I also recommended it to other people, and they were also happy because it's different. Also for text, it doesn't come up with so much stuff. If you do the prompting right, if you use good master prompts, it really delivers some really good results that other AIs have not. So that is something that I found with Claude that just works a little bit better.
Yes. Then there's the workflow, how to use an AI.
Mm-hmm.
You just mentioned the master prompt,
Mm-hmm.
something that I think 5% of the human race use, Then there's like, people think it's about the prompt. The prompt is in a way just the information you give an AI for the question you have. For example, I use a tool that I can talk into my mic and it writes it down for me. With this, my prompts are automatically better because I just ramble and not say, okay, I write this and now I'm tired of writing and I enter. Right? If you ramble, you give the thing way more information, what is automatically a better prompt. In the beginning, the prompt really matters. Now, for example, it doesn't matter anymore so much. Totally, when you use different ways to use the AI. For example, a master prompt. So you train, you're making an ultimative data set for the use case you want for the AI. And then you say, hey, you have to help me with my YouTube business, and I'm doing this online, but I don't do this online, and I never want to talk about this, but I always want to talk about this. And you give so much information you can into one file. In this file, you give like a base knowledge for the AI. That's a master prompt. And with this, you can have a prompt in the chat itself then, where you open a new chat and just say, help me with a new video. And he knows, like the thing knows everything that you could like.
It's a game changer.
So in a way, the prompt doesn't matter then anymore because you have a pre-prompted tool.
Yeah, and it keeps it shorter because in the past, I did kind of like the thing that I now do via master prompts. I did basically in the prompts itself. So I wrote myself kind of like prompting templates where I just had these spare parts in the text, which I then had to fill out. And now that's all in my master prompt. So I can just, like you say, very loosely say, hey, I need this and that. Please provide me with this and that, and this and that should be the outcome. And the AI knows, because I trained it on it, what kind of like the outcome should be structured like, what the tone should be like, and all of that. So that's a really big help.
And I think this summarizes this thing. There's two things that I wanted to say before quite a lot. So first of all, you have to, it's the beginning, it's the wild west of AI, right? So their tools are really basic. Yeah, it's amazing what they can do. They have literally neurons now. They can like get context and ideas by themselves, what is intelligent. And it's insane that we have this technology now. It's like Star Wars when I was a kid, but the same with tablets, right? And touch screens. And I remember when I got the first iPod Touch, I was like,
yeah,
like this fucking screen is moving. What
the hell? You can touch it.
Touch the screen,
Yeah.
And now I have the same with AI. It's just like, what?
Yeah.
But they are kind of basic in the way that they still don't know what they actually want to help you. It's just the technology itself in a basic form. And then they give you like different ways to interact with it. And you kind of have to do the work to make them actually smart for you and helpful with the master prompt and different methods, right? So this is where we are right now. And with the master prompt, for example, and like before people sold prompt libraries in bibliotheks and shit, now you can make your master prompt and can just ask for, I don't know, help.
Yeah.
And you're getting a good answer, So this changed rapidly fast. And I think all of these things can change tomorrow again. So this is what I wanted to say, kind of like, this is like a Wild West and it's changing every day. Like I'm checking the news about this stuff a lot and just watching it from the outside and test a lot of things. And one thing about Claude from Anthropic, the thing that we use, because I think it's the versatile for the things I want to do. AI.
Yeah. For me as well, yeah.
Is you can use it in the browser. So you're talking to the servers. Of course, they have a desktop app where you can have even some integrations, and that's cool. And you can use it local on your machine itself. Takes a lot of space, needs GPU, a lot of things. And it's never that good like when you send it to the server because they have, GPU farms for you.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's another way with Claude. And one thing we have to mention about Claude is it's very good in coding. So Claude, Anthropic realized on some point that they cannot fight against Google and others. Like it was always like, now we are a little bit better than this. Now we are a little bit better than this. Then Gemini came and did this move. And it was constantly this like race against like who have the better model. And they said on some point, you know what? We don't want to be the good thing in everything. We just want to be really good in code.
Yeah.
And to be honest, all programmer friends that I have and everyone I know who's doing something with code, they're using Claude. Like,
yeah, and also, even if you don't have, and even if you don't have any knowledge in coding, vibe coding with Claude is just fun. It's just super, super easy, and I think the results you get.
Coding.
Yeah.
Vibe coding means you code without knowing anything about code and just ask the AI to code for you.
That's what I do.
People know that. Yeah. For example, Claude knows a lot about code. So Claude, when you ask like, hey, can we do this kind of thing? And it says, ChatGPT would say, I don't know if I can do that. Claude would say, I cannot do that now, but we could write a Python script to automate that for you. And I can do that for you. Want that I do that? And you say yes. And then it just codes that thing and start doing the thing from before you ask. And that is very powerful. That's why Claude, I think, was the one that I decided because it can literally help me in ways that I didn't know because I don't know code. But if you can make a software for a use case that you don't know, like that you cannot do right now, you can do it after, So it's insanely powerful. We are a music channel here, right? So I was thinking with AI just to show how, like, where we are with the music world right now. I would say we should start like basic things. There are plugins that using AI already, and there are also like generative music moments.
Mm-hmm.
We have like a Suno and Audio that generates music. Maybe we go a little bit on that, and then I think after I want to show a little bit what MCP servers can do with Ableton.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do it. Let's do it in that direction. And yeah, to start with the good, I really love creative AI tools. Since it came out, I'm really amazed by things like SynthPlant, for example. SynthPlant 2, I think, is an AI-based synthesizer. And basically what it does, it is you can feed it in any sound that you have. And then SynthPlant can recreate the sound as a synthesis engine. And it gets extremely close. So you get all of these kind of like little plants and they kind of like start to grow. And then you get different results on the kind of like the sound that you fed into the tool. And then the results you get are extremely close to the sound that you fed in. And the big advantage is then you don't have a sample anymore. You have a synthesizer. So you can change parameters like, for example, then it's based on oscillators and you can change the oscillator waveform. You can change different filter settings. You can change all of the things, or you can just do some reverse engineering when you ask yourself, I've heard this synth sounds and I have no clue how this is made. Put it into SynthPlant and then you kind of like learn for yourself. Okay, it's made by this and that, or kind of like these are the filter settings that I need. Oh, it's using a comp filter. So all these things is that you can learn, and that's what really fascinates me.
You can see the separate components. I used it once with a friend, Lilai, actually from my Discord channel. When he booked me in Brussels, I was in his place, and we did a little bit of music. And he actually used the machine, the VST, and told me like, look, I can use this corridor track because I love this like kind of weird sound design he does there. Put it there, and then literally it sounded similar to that and was like a perfect start point for making a track. And I was like, wowed by it, but I actually my fear of VSTs hold me back to actually install it.
Yeah, same. This is also I don't own it, but okay. I've really looked close to other people what they do with it and was really fascinated. And Yeah, it's like you then basically get a synthesized version of the sound that you fed into, and then you can, and that's the cool thing what I still like, because getting back to Udio and Sumo and all of these tools is like, I'm a little bit hesitant when people just prompt in words and then generate complete musical outcomes for them, because I think the artistic approach and the artistic vision gets a little bit lost. You can never get into that such detail that you can iron this out. Probably in the future with AI, yes, but right now I think we are still not there yet. But with things like SynthPlant, what I really like is that it kind of like, it gives you a starting point, and then you can from there build on that and shape the sound in your own ways, and then use it further in your music, or actually start with something from scratch and then ask the AI to build a sound that you have in your head, or that you have as a sample or whatever, it doesn't really matter, and then generate something for you. And that's kind of like where I see myself working with AI. It's really like asking for support when I feel creatively stuck. It's basically in a similar way as you would kind of like go into sample pack or stuff like that and look for sounds that inspire you. I think for that, AI is really great because it can do things in a quite similar way.
Yeah, I will completely take over this. Like the future, like I'm really like checking the news about AI a lot, and I see like a pattern happening in total, but also in the music world. In total, content will be generated for the user live. One point, like you will just have stuff that is generated so it fits to what you want to see or they think you want to see. A terrible future I don't want. It will be just noise, but that's personal for me.
Yeah, for me as well.
For the
I can 100% agree.
Yeah, that's why I'm already getting out of the social game, right?
Yeah, it's getting already pretty noisy right now.
Yeah,
and if you see it's only the beginning, then I'm actually really...
Yeah. It's still people generating it, for you. It's like kind of still human.
It's still human, but in the future it will be machines generating the machine-generated content for you.
Yeah, the feed itself is generated live when you scroll,
Yeah,
but
then...
The music part is that things like sample libraries that are created by people right now, they will be generated. We see this with the new Ableton update. Look, for example, workflow. We have this new Ableton update. You can put a track inside. You can separate the stems from a waveform right now. So you have stems from an old track of you. It's really cool, right? You can take an old track where you're like, I love the synth line that I did there. Put your own track in. I think that's fair, putting your own track in, taking that out and then just don't recreating it. Just take that thing, have that, and make new drums on it, remix it, like use your own library kind of, But then there is like a future that I see where like Splice isn't it's just AI generated samples based on like what you have in your library right now. Like I'm looking for this, like find me the right sample for that. They already have that now, right? This like Splice integration now, one of the weirdest move from Ableton that I ever had. But I guess a lot of people using it. So
yeah, I think Splices just became really big, used by a lot of people. I also don't use it, so I can't really say much about it. But
I guess it's cool to just, you do hip hop, you want to find a perfect jazz sample and you just find it,
It's just another tool. And the people who like crate digging, in the case of hip hop, they will still do it. They will still go to the record stores, to the flea markets, check the boxes with records, and
we
and
can
just
decide ourselves. That's the
beauty.
Thing.
Exactly. That's the point I wanted to make. It's in the end, and that's also why I'm always a little bit hesitant to jump completely on this fear train. Oh my God, AI will come for all of us and will kill us all. It's like in the end, it's another tool, and music will still largely remain human. Yes, we discussed the noise, and there will be a lot of noise, but in my view, I think when there's a lot of noise, there's also a lot of people who want to strain away from the noise and then move towards somewhere where there's less noise and where there's human-generated spaces. And right now it's all mixing up, it's all thrown together. But wouldn't it be nice to have a future where we kind of like have these spaces again, and where we, together with technology as humans, create something beautiful, as we did when computers and DAWs came up, as when electric guitars came up. It's pretty much the same. It's like always people said, oh my God, they are coming for us, they are killing music, and music always survived.
It will change things for sure. Like techno was like noise for guitar friends, I guess. Like this rock music was real music, and what the fuck. Now everything is so static and loopy, but it's an aesthetic for itself, right? And the other thing didn't die. It even come back in some points, right? and makes it easier. So also you have more of it in a way. So more variation also. People with a different mindset and not so privileged to have a full band around you. Maybe like solo people could start making a full band. Like I remember I started Ableton because I was tired playing in a band and they didn't train the hard like me for the solo and everything. And then the moment when I play it and I hear the bass is getting like out of sync and I'm like, oh. So, I was just like getting Ableton, looping my band together and then just play the solo for 5 hours. No one tells you stop. That was nice. And with this, I think I learned then about synthesizers and then put the guitar on the side and be like, cool device. But otherwise I would never learn Ableton, I think.
Yeah,
so it's
same.
all cool. And I think that's why it's also important to find your workflow with AI. And what you say, like creativity is something AI can emulate, but never generate. It's the thing. It will be when you want to make something unique and new, you have to do it yourself. You can use the AI for doing it, getting you a start point, getting a SynthPlant, and find the sound design that you kind of want to start with. But it will be always a template generator. And this is also what I can show in a way. But
and also something, just one point to that, and something I think where tools like, I always forget what it's called. Is it Suno, right?
Suno and
Udio. Yeah, Udio. Yeah, these are the ones. I think this is also exactly what you say, where these tools are lacking, because they can only recreate what's already been there. And when you have ideas and you kind of like, I think we talked about this a couple of episodes ago about finding your own style as an artist and your own ways, where you say, we both love ambient. I'm more on the melodic side, you're more on the hypnotic side of techno, but we are looking for ways to blend all of these things that we love together and form something new, kind of like starting to curate sounds that we really like, listen to them, and then let them influence our music. I think that's something that is really hard to do with AI, because it's a process that grows over years, and AI can only replicate what's there. So you can prompt it to make, or at least the song AI, so to say. You can prompt it to make a melodic house track and make your melodic house track, but it's not a melodic house track that is unique to you, because it doesn't have the elements that you worked out throughout the years that you really like in music.
You know why I think AI is really, really good in? Brainstorming.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It have ideas that you don't even had in mind, because it reads the full internet of the world, right? So it knows the basics of things that you don't even know and tells you things where you're like, I was not thinking about it. That's a good idea. For this, I love it. Totally for the business stuff. I have no clue how to build a business, right? And now I have one. So I'm like, I didn't know about this. Okay. And now you can just generate an invoice. Now you can just generate these things that are like super boring. And it's perfect for that. But for creativity, I think human will design always their own thing. One workflow I can see in the future will be like, Suno, Udio, for me, they're sounding like MP3 ripped YouTube videos. It sounds shit for me personally. But the ideas that you can get out of it are insane. Like I put in Udio, I think it was, that I tried once. Me and my friend, we just wanted to see how it goes. So we prompted like idiots inside and like, okay, experimental weird noise house music with a little bit of dubstep, with a little bit of almond breaks, but not too much. Just like in the end with a weird noise sound and just like 2 minutes long. Thank you. Like we went really specific and all of that. It sounded really nice, like the ideas was creative and crazy and like experimental. I was like, yeah, you will get pop music and all that shit, right? But it sounded really cool. Like I was like inspired by it.
Okay.
But then I wanted to put it in Ableton and use it. And in the end, I just use it as like its frequencies, because the sound quality sounded like a rip off of an MP3 or something. It was like you can hear in the highs this like bit crushy.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean.
I don't know how to. When you have a super old YouTube video from 2000 or something, and you're like, ooh.
Yeah, that's weirdly compressed.
And the format is like square, and that's the audio quality you're getting right now. So I guess the thing's getting better every day, and at some point there will be like flags, but then there's the moment where I think humans have to decide that they don't use the tools like, now I release this. There will be also algorithms in platforms like, I guess Spotify will just love it, but I don't care. But other platforms will have algorithms against AI. They have AIs that check that this is AI generated and claim then that you cannot like monetize it or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think it will be a moment where it's important that you just take maybe this generated track, put it in your Ableton, use the AI from Ableton, make a stem out of it, use the element that you like the most, and start from there. Like it's a tool. All these AI things are tools to kind of make yourself the 5 sounds that you needed to start actually working.
Yep.
And I think this is where we are right now and where it's starting to become. But one thing that I found out is MCP servers, and they are insane. What an MCP server is literally also by Entropic. They literally make it's like MIDI. So it's like a bridge between hardware and software is MIDI, right? You can play hardware keys and then translate it to code to run it in a DAW. So the same for MCP server is you have an integration for a different platform. So for example, I want that Claude can use my Google Calendar and block my next week, block that for me. And it just does it because it runs on the MCP, and the MCP is the translation, because in the beginning they try to make AI understand your desktop. But the AI is a computer. A computer can read code in text form very fast, like insanely fast. I mean, it can read the internet for you in seconds. For research, for example, amazing. But understanding a mouse cursor and like an X to close a window is insanely complex for an AI, what for us is intuitive, right? So this translation was like, they tried it, it was not working really well, and there was some ideas of it. They called it agents doing that, and it was not working really well. And now Anthropic just did this MCP server standard where it's literally translating everything you can do in a software into commands for the AI. And I found one. GitHub is full of these things right now. It's like the Wild West. I love it. I'm really excited about this nerdy shit. I found an MCP server for Ableton Live. So what I can do is, let me try this now. This is like freestyle now, but I want to show you this. What I can do now is I can go in my shell, my terminal, where I run Claude code, what is nothing else than Claude, but it can make everything on my computer. So it can run code, it can create files, and it don't need any like integration for that.
But it has to ask you for permission, right? That's really important, because I think when people hear that an AI can do anything on a computer, they're like, "Ooh, what the fuck?"
No, you give permission, or you don't know what you're doing. You say, yeah, do whatever you want, and then you may be fucked.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you know what you're doing, I think you're using Claude Code in a shell. And this is what I'm doing. So I can literally run an MCP server and say, hey, there's Ableton open right now. Can you see the session? And when it says yes, then we can just brainstorm together what we want to kind of generate now. And obviously, it will sound, I tried it already. And I said, okay, I want that you generate me Radiohead Pyramid song, The Chords, from the piano. Obviously, it said, I cannot do that. That's copyright, la la la. I tried many ways. It's not doing it.
Okay.
Plus. It's
nice.
really good. I like
stuff.
That. For small artists, for sure not, but whatever. I said, okay, give me something similar. So the thing will make everything for you. Audio effects, modulations, clips, MIDI notes. It can do all of this.
It can also load effects, right? And basically that's crazy.
Everything. It's amazing, but it sounds not good. But everything that have theory behind, so theory, sorry, my German.
Sometimes come through. It's okay. Yeah. We are both potatoes, 100% potatoes.
The thing is, if you have a theory behind, like, for example, chords, they have a lot of theory behind, right? If you have no clue about this, you can tell the thing, hey, I want the vibe of Radiohead Pyramid song, and then it tells me, that's written in the this tone, say that
key.
The key of this track is this. So you use a G minor and the seventh of blah blah blah. And I didn't know that before. So I was like, okay, can you write something in G minor and seven of something? So he generates something new for me, but based on this roots. And their AI is really good in. So I was like, oh my God, this is so emotional. I would never write this code. It's so beautiful. I was really like, wow. So again, tool-wise, it's insane what you can do. But I just want to have this moment and try that for you to share that now here in the podcast. I never did that before.
Exciting stuff.
I just want to show that you can literally do this right now.
I mean, we are an exploration podcast, so we need to explore things. So we just go with the flow, right?
To make it not too boring, I already set up Claude Code right now. Let me share the screen and see if we can make this possible. So first I show you the shell and then I show you Ableton. I have to do it one by one now.
Yeah. And for all the people who are not watching but just listening, we're now seeing basically Mordio's Claude Code. It's basically, as you would
It's my
imagine.
terminal.
Yeah, it's a terminal, a coding terminal.
Yeah, it's a terminal, and it just runs the AI model now, and you can see it, right?
Yep.
So here, I just ask like, if the MCP server is running, can you test it? If it's working, and then it goes, yeah, I see the configuration. Let me try if the server is running, and then it just makes this codey stuff that we don't know what it is, and it checks. And I installed it before, so it finds it and then say, yes, the MCP server is running. I can see it. And it tells me literally things about my session that I have open on the other side on the screen. And tells me, your BPM is 140. The track tact is like 4/4. We have one track. Return channels, we have 2. Master volume is 85%. So it can read all this data about your session in like, basic code form. And now we can literally say what we, I think first I want to show you my Ableton session. So just to prove that. So now you see Ableton and it's right. We are like 140 BPM. I have 2 return channels. My main is 48%. That's not true. I would say that's 100%, but I guess it takes it from
the +6 dB that Ableton.
Yeah, so it makes sense. And then we have this one MIDI channel. So, and now I will go in Claude and just say whatever we want, and we will watch Ableton, how it just starts generating things. So I don't touch this Ableton session now. We go back to the terminal. Let me share that again. So you see this. And now, my friend, what are we want to generate? Do you have a complex idea, maybe a melody in some, like, I mean, you know how the context work. Like we have to give a lot of context.
A lot of context, okay.
But I can read all the Ableton files. I can generate files. I can...
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Does it also generate sounds? If I say now I want to have a... Okay.
You can just give it, like, it cannot make samples for you. It can just load a sample when you know the name of it.
But it can load...
Synths,
right?
Synths, effects, clips, MIDI notes, all of that.
Okay. Then I would say I would love to load definitely a drift synthesizer with, if I now say it should have a little bit of an analog feel, it probably doesn't understand that, right?
Possible. I mean, it's an AI.
Okay.
So we can say that analog feel, but yeah, it's not really clear, what analog means.
Then definitely in polyphonic mode with the filter slightly closed.
Okay, poly filter. I write this in paper right now here to just say it and today.
Okay. Filter slightly closed, and then in the key of, let's say, let's take G minor.
G minor. Okay.
A melancholic chord progression.
Mellow chords.
An 8 bars chord progression. Let's put it like that.
8 bars. Okay. Something
and
else?
It should have the sound should have a beautiful reverb and a ping pong delay.
Okay. Reverb, ping pong. That's kind of simple.
Yeah, that's really simple. That's true.
I think this is possible. So I let's just try that first. I like this idea. So what I will do now, we seeing code. Yeah. Okay. So what I do is I go here now and I say, I have this tool that I can just talk to my mic and it will just write it down. So load in Ableton a drift synthesizer in polyphonic mode with a filter slightly closed, make the key G minor and make a melancholic 8-bar chords with reverb and ping pong delay. Thank you. We are friendly to the AI. So you see, he makes this for me, writes this all down, and now I push enter and he's booping and thinking and takes a bit of course. And then it says here, I will generate
set that up for you. Yeah.
Yeah, you can read it. Perfect.
Yeah. First I look at the browser to find drift and the effects.
And then it asks me for permissions for all of those things. So I say, yes, find the browser. Yes, go into the browser, do that. And I just say, I make the mode on that he can just do whatever he wants now, except edits.
Yeah.
So I will just do these things now because it just talks to the MCP, but it still asks me because I make that really clear that it needs to ask me for everything.
That makes sense.
But you see, it's just coding, doing things. And yeah.
But you can also see it's checking for audio effects. It's already found instruments delay. It's found the audio effect drift. Now it's found the...
First it goes and checks if all of the things are there. Otherwise you have to install them and it will help you to install them.
Nice.
Then at some point it will say, okay, let me build the things. Get the browser items.
It's using a hall reverb. Okay.
Interesting.
Delay is a clean delay. Okay, interesting. I'm really, really excited now for the result. So what we can see is we are like in a time where AI is like a computer that can understand way better what you want from it without being a programmer and can interact with different software now thanks to MCP servers. This is just the beginning. I can see how this MCP server is becoming a standard in like Ableton and other platforms. And you just have everyone have like like Windows, Linux, iOS. They just have AIs integrated, and it's just your partner for using the computer. For example, if you think about your grandma learning using a computer, you have to teach her how to use a mouse. You have to teach her how to use the keyboard, right? Because it's a completely new concept for them in a way. Yeah,
for us, it's normal. We grown into that. You know how to use a mouse, right?
Yeah.
But in the beginning, that's super confusing for someone. And there we are right now with AI. So this MCP servers will be just a mouse and like speak is something everyone can do, every human. And I think AI is something that makes a computer reasonable to use now because you can just talk to it now.
So it's about accessibility.
Yes. I think they are just the bridge between the computer and the human right now. And they give you a lot of possibilities to use your tools more efficient. In this case, we are like, that was not really the best example. Totally now I have to edit the audio and I put it there.
Yeah.
But that is more on the side that we record here. But the thing is, I think it's just a cool way to, like what I did, for example, like some days ago, I said, okay, make a drum rack, put in 16 patterns, like you have the 16 pads that I want to fill up with operators, modulate randomness on all oscillators for each oscillator. They have 4 oscillators, so each of the patterns is an operator with 4 oscillators. They are randomly going on, off, on, off, on, off in different timings. And then put like arpeggiator and make some like basic sequence going on. And it did it. And it was a very complex thing in like seconds there where I would click a lot, you know?
Yeah.
And I think
Get
I
it.
see that we will have like points where this tool is becoming like just easy to, if you know what you want to do, and you still have to be the artist to know what you want to do, right? But if you know what you want to do, you have a easier access to have these things done, and from there you go, you know?
Yeah.
It will never generate for you like the ultimative melody. I mean, maybe the ultimative melody will be possible, but it's based on theory, you know? But if
Exactly.
it's based on like creativity, it will never happen.
Exactly. And also, even the most ultimate melody needs to be embedded in a song context, right?
Yes.
So you need to have some other elements to go along with the melody. You need to have something that plays that melody. How does the synth or the instrument sound that plays the melody back? So I think that is then probably still on the artist side to do your artistic work to make the decision on that. So you have the melody generated by AI, but then you do the sound design, you do the other instruments. And then again, we have what you just said, a song starter, basically an idea, a beautiful melody that can spark an idea. What was kind of like a sample in the past where people heard a beautiful melody on a record, which they sampled and then built a whole track around that melody. Now an AI could do.
Yes. That's the thing. And I think it will be like a just nice template generator, preset and template generator. And from there you go. Because say you want a melody around G minor or something, you can generate that now. And then from there, you can get inspired from that one melody and just go that. But I think it will be like really cool integrated at some point, not like we did right now with shells and shit. Like I use this way more for other things where it's way more efficient. But for example, with MCP servers integrated, enabled, and I can imagine how you just say, hey, give me a nice drum rhythm based on Euclidean sequences. And it just does that in your MIDI notes, and then you drop your favorite sample in it, and it just sounds amazing because you're like, ooh, what a groove. I would never came up with that. And I think that's the idea of how I could integrate AI as a cool tool, but it will never make my decisions very big influence to my decisions. It will just give me a start point.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same how we even today use algorithmic tools, like for example, Sting 2. I think it's a great example, or any sort of generative sequencer. It's just like, I mean, it's not based on AI, but it has some algorithms inside that help you to generate all of these patterns. And then you kind of like keep generating until you find something that you like. And then that is your starting point for a song, for example.
Yes, that's what I wanted to say. So
nice.
It's from the techie side, this is where we are right now. We can separate full waveforms now into stems, what is really insane kind of, but also nothing crazy that will steal your job as an artist, you know?
Yeah.
That's, I wanted to make sure, like it takes a lot to make this technology going there. They're intelligent now. That's a big difference too. Like they are just code and running always the same script. Now they can like decide to write a new script on the go, but that's it. And from here, I think it's a good point where we should talk a little bit about the not so fun part of AI.
The ugly, which basically is corporates behind AI technology stealing from other artists. If you're an artist, you're probably familiar with that issue, but it's actually happened a lot in the past where just companies basically go and they need source material to train their AIs. It's normal, but I would imagine they go and ask the artist for permission. Like, for example, I think Google did that recently where they asked every YouTuber on Google saying, hey, can we use your YouTube videos to train our AIs? And you could say yes or no. And then they, hopefully, if you said no, they didn't use it. I mean, we don't know ultimately. But there are companies who just do it, who just go into the World Wide Web, grab art wherever they can without paying the artists and using that to train their AI tools and algorithms. And I think that is just absolutely the ugly part of it, because there are artists having put real work into it. And I mean, if someone else steals your music and plays it back somewhere, then it's easy to kind of like, with copyright, with the rules that we have in the world, to get some sort of compensation or to make a legal claim. It's not fun, it's not easy, but it's still the possibility. But I think with AI, it's just so hard to say.
Area right
yeah,
now,
it's
so.
absolutely gray area, because it's forbidden, but so actually it's not really a gray area. I think it's against the law, but it's super hard to prove it.
Yeah.
That these people used your music or whatever art it is, also for digital artists who are drawing or designing, using their designs to train their design
Yeah,
AIs.
I think the most obvious was like in the time of Midjourney or something, where like really you could use for like, I want to make like, I don't know, the perfect example was like Gimli, right?
Yeah.
Everyone was doing the Gimli style selfies and then having the Gimli style animation style. What is, that's super rude. I mean, they put decades into defining their own style. And I always said like Gimli is anime with like not this typical anime overdose thing. What is like really cool design choice to make it more realistic, more grounded. And then it's just generated by AI from every content creator. That was so insane when I saw
Not every content creator, every person on LinkedIn, basically. I remember a time where I still spent a lot of time on LinkedIn. Holy fuck. There was like everyone, my feed was full of it. And I was like, what the hell? What are you even trying to...
Yeah,
why?
What's the goal of it?
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get your message. What are you trying to tell me? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah, and there it's very obvious, right? When you steal like an art style, but in audio it's not even that obvious, for example, you know? Yeah.
True.
And that's hard, you know? It's like not a gray area, like you said, but it's hard to just get that part.
Absolutely. And it's also not really easy to do something against it. Like, I know the YouTuber Ben Jordan. I don't know if you know him.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah, he actually, it's already a couple of months ago and I didn't follow the project closer, but there he showed something which I found very interesting, is that basically if you feed, as you said with code, if you feed an AI a song, for example, then for the AI, it's just code. It kind of like starts to decode it, and out of this code, it gets the information. And he kind of like did something where the code of songs was changed in a way that for the AI, it sounded like the weirdest noise ever. So a human would still hear a regular, let's say, hypnotic techno track. But for the AI, it sounded like, I don't know, farting robots for 4 minutes or something like that. And he explained the concept. It's actually as simple as that. Of course, there's a lot of technology behind it, but he kind of like also was together with some institute, if I recall that correctly.
I think
he was working on that and trying to build what you mentioned in the beginning, kind of like an AI protection mechanism, so that you can kind of like protect your music. And then when the AI tries to use it, it will just get completely unuseful information out of it. And it will probably, your song will not kind of like benefit the AI, but will do more harm than ever. And it would actually quite be interesting to see where this project went, because I didn't follow it closely. But I thought in that moment, it's actually great to see people doing something against it, because, I mean, you said it yourself, it's the wild, wild west. So it's also for people trying to make now benefits on top of other people's work, or kind of like just taking other people's work and trying to make it beneficial for them. So it's great actually to see initiatives working against that and protect people's art.
That's the beauty of life for me and of the human race. With every insanely overdone project, there's a counter movement, you know? And I think if we go to the limiter with content and AI generated shit, there will be a counter movement, like people looking for dumb phones now. And I think there's also there was one artist here in Berlin that I also followed who used AI to actually generate bloat tracks that upload every minute to Spotify to just destroy. I think this like idea of that you can generate AI tracks and load them up on Spotify, and Spotify have now no problem with that. So real artists getting even less income and like followers, because the user in the end doesn't care. When it sounds good for meditation, then I just listen to this playlist, even if it's AI generated. And that's the problem. This will happen, you know. People will just not see the difference anymore between content generated content and real content and art, and it's just all the same noise. And sometimes you want noise, so you make it on. That's it. And we as people that create the stuff have to figure out what we do with this information.
Yeah, 100%.
Like I think AI can make it possible that you make a message, like generating tracks and load them up every second.
100%. And I have to say, I love your idea about counter movements, because that's one thought that I had in this whole AI, and also being, I mean, in the end, all of this content flooding that we experience right now leads to a sort of digital saturation and digital oversaturation, where people say, fuck, I'm done with this shit. I want to go and literally touch grass again and just go into the woods or whatever. Yeah, you see, and it's happened to me. It's happened to a lot of people that I talk to. And I think there's also a real chance for kind of like bringing back music to real spaces where people appreciate kind of like music in all different spaces again. Maybe not even in a concert character, but what we talked about, kind of like AI listening sessions, ambient listening sessions. Oh God, my brain is also already fried by AI.
That's
ambient. Yeah. Ambient listening sessions just happening in your surroundings, or people just organizing more things, and there is more kind of like a need for people to say, we want to go out again and connect in the real world. And I think that could be something. People who that the counter movement, I mean, you can already see it. We talked about it with Tim in one of our last episodes, when we have the oversaturation of Spotify, that there's people who say, I deliberately go back to Bandcamp and buy music again, same as you do.
Yeah.
And a lot of other people. And I think it will be the same. It will be people saying, I want to experience real music made by real humans again, which is when I think this connection will be way more important. And I think that will be a beautiful counter movement, or could be a counterful.
It's already happening.
Beautiful counter movement, yeah.
It's already happening. You know the German stamp you can get for food, bio. You know, it's like organic. It's not easy to get, and you need a lot of improvement. I think you will have this for made by human one day.
Okay.
I can see something like this, and I actually like this idea.
Yeah.
Made by human.
Yeah.
Like made by humans for humans. No generation, no bullshit, just like this. And this is what I mean. Like, I say no bullshit, but in the same time, I'm on the edge of AI. I think it's amazing tools, super interesting technology. I love technology, but I think because I'm so on the edge of the things always with technology, and I live in the future, what my friends always tell to me, Flo, you just live in the future, dude. But that's why I'm saturated way more and way faster, I think. That's why I also buy my music again, because I hate playlists of Spotify. I hate seeing not the artists that I actually want to see, you know? And I love the process of digging again, you know? And I think this love I didn't miss because I didn't know it so well after all these years. And that I missed it, I also didn't recognize. But because of the saturation that I got, I realized, you can love this again because you missed it unconsciously. And I think the same can happen with, everything. The politics going crazy, everything goes crazy. And when it goes to a point where it's like too much, the counter movement is growing too because of that.
Yeah. Beautiful message. Let's keep our fingers crossed for that.
Please. I want a better future.
Yeah. I mean, the world is pretty fucked up right now. Let's just hope we're at the tipping point and the counter movement just starts.
Yeah. And it's not like a collapse, more like a nice fate. I hope that for all kinds of the life right now.
Crossing my fingers.
Okay,
Definitely.
Something else that we should mention.
I think we covered a lot of things already pretty deeply. So should we wrap it up?
Yes, let's do that.
Let's do that.
So, you have last thought about AI?
No, I think the only last thought that I also wanted to share here, we talked a lot about the good, the bad, and the ugly, and I think the truth is probably somewhere in the middle. I'm not a fan of kind of like totally talking AI down like it's the threat of the world, but I'm also not kind of like completely overhyping it. It depends in the end on the humans using it. We can make the best or the worst out of it, and we can decide for ourselves. It's a technology that is come to stay there, I'm pretty sure. And it's a really interesting and amazing piece of technology, but we need some regulations. We need to have some things where people really I mean, as exciting the Wild Wild West is, but I see that it's probably also the part that's very scary for people because the regulations can't really keep up with the technical developments right now because the tech develops so fast. And
even
governments
faster now because of AI, you know.
Exactly.
All the programmers, they're making the tech, they just push enter and the full thing is coded, you know. So it's like,
and then just look at our government here in Germany. I'm not really convinced that they kind of like will do anything to regulate anything. There's like, I don't know, like
they
mostly
still
old
ask
people.
ChatGPT what we should do.
Yeah, how to get to the Berlin Central Station. ChatGPT, tell me, how can I get there?
Oh God. Yeah. No, I would say it's a really good thing to do for my wrap up. Compare it to the internet. The internet is amazing. Did amazing things for us. Bring a global connection. Bring end wars. Did like a lot of things, you know, but also terrible things. So it's really on us, like always, because we are generating those things. We creating these things. Maybe not us both right now, but you know, we as humans, we are doing those things, and we have to connect again. Like again, the end message is always community, connect with each other, and figure it out together. You know. Yeah,
that's a beautiful message.
I would say that's a good end sentence. And I would say if you have questions, I can imagine there will be some questions. That was really, really nerdy.
Yeah, or thoughts. Like, what are your thoughts on AI? Yes. What do you want to share?
I would like to have a conversation about this stuff.
Oh, definitely. Yep.
It's very interesting. But yeah, comment section is for you guys. And in our case, we see us in 2 weeks, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's it. Like and subscribe. That helps the algorithm. Haha, another one.
We need to feed it. It's our job.
We have also families.
True.
Yeah, community for the win. Let's go.
Let's go. Best community. See ya.